All right, everybody. Welcome. Today we are from a certain point of view. This is my wife, Brittany, and I am Josh. And this is episode 98. And what I discovered was if you reverse 98 and make it 89, that is the year you were born.
It's true.
So I guess you were meant to be on this show today.
Yes.
Obviously, we were without Adam today, and he's feeling a little bit under the weather still recovering. So we'll keep our thoughts and prayers on Adam this week. I think he's doing all right, though. He'll be just fine. But today we have a lot of things to talk about. We have a lot of news to cover. We had a couple really big things that happened this week. One with Nintendo, with Nintendo Direct, and then also with Netflix, with the Netflix Tudum or Tudum, or I don't know how to say it, but it's new. It's a new Netflix thing. So we're going to talk about that. They released a whole bunch of little sneak peeks and teasers and for upcoming series and returning series and everything. So we have a lot to talk about. Before we get to that news, though, we're going to do our normal recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
And my recommendation for this week is a show that actually we've been watching together. And the reason we started watching this show is because it was actually recorded. This was filmed nearby. We actually had a scene that was filmed right down the road from us.
Mm-hmm. That's where Sydney's dance.
Your mind
studio.
is obviously on Disney, and I'm sorry, but there's not a whole lot of Disney news today. Our
Sydney's dance studio.
Yeah, Sydney's dance studio. So she started dance very recently. And it was right in that plaza there that they filmed a scene. I don't know if that scene's ever going to end up in the show or not.
We're watching to find out.
We're watching to find out, but they did film some other stuff locally too, and around the Pittsburgh area. The show is actually set in a fictional town called Buell. And the lead actor, help me with his name.
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels is, he's like what would you call him? Like the kind of the
he's the chief.
The chief. Yeah, he's the chief of this town.
Chief of police.
And he's investigating a murder, basically, of a former police officer. And there's a lot to like about this show, I think. It has really good character development. It's really kind of I would call it a darker, kind of gritty type show, which I really like that about it.
But it seems real, like it's grounded in reality. It's not too far out there for me.
Yeah, it's definitely very grounded. And I'm really feeling myself connected to at least a couple of the characters. I think Jeff Daniels is absolutely brilliant. And my wife just killed a bug right in front of my very eyes. It was made a nice crunch sound too. Anyway, but Jeff Daniels is brilliant in this, and I just I love him. What do you like about this show so far?
I mean, I like cop shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily like a strict cop show.
No.
But it's like my kind of show. Like I like the thriller, suspenseful, whodunit. Like I grew up reading Mary Higgins Clark novels. Like that was my thing. So I like that part of it, the suspense and it's like, could happen.
Yeah.
In real life.
It could.
To me, hopefully, but
hopefully not to you.
To anybody that we know.
Yeah, no.
It's so weird.
It's a weird thing to say.
Yes.
But it's on Showtime. So if you have Showtime, you can check it out. We're like there have been 3 episodes released so far. So we've watched the first 2 and we need to watch the third one this week. Do you have a recommendation other than American Rust?
I mean, I'm in a weird, like, Halloween-y, witchy, vampire-y kind of mood right now with Halloween coming up. So
sure.
I've been watching The Vampire Diaries over again, which I don't know how many years ago that was, but now rewatching it, I'm like, I'm like, whoa, that happened? So I've been rewatching that, and I just finished reading Practical Magic. Apparently there's like a cult following with this book. And the movie is on HBO Max, so I'm going to try to talk you into watching that one night. But it has Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman in it.
Okay.
From the 90s.
Maybe.
Should be good.
Maybe I'll check that out with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings us to our next segment, which is one question to rule them all. So our question this week is a question that actually you wanted us to answer. So I figured what better question to have on here than what is your favorite ride, amusement park ride, based off of a movie? So there are several that come to mind. You know, I think of Harry Potter specifically, like Wizarding World. Is that what it's called? The Wizarding World
I think
in
so.
Universal.
I call it Harry Potter World.
Yeah. Gringotts, that ride
Hufflepuff.
was pretty good. I don't know if you would consider the Hogwarts Express to maybe be kind of a ride based off of a movie almost.
Yeah.
I think of course, Star Wars: Rise of the Resistance in Hollywood Studios at Galaxy's Edge. I don't know what else comes to mind for you when you think about rides that are based off of movies, like maybe like the new Jurassic World ride they have.
Yeah, we haven't ridden that one yet though, but that's definitely it
Mm-hmm.
looks phenomenal.
Is that the Velocicoaster?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jurassic Park's one of my favorite franchises. Like, I always enjoyed it. Even the ones that aren't that great, I like watching. So, I mean, I'm always, and I know how horrible the Jurassic Park ride is at Universal, but I won't not ride it because I like it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the one in Orlando got the Jurassic World retheme or not. I'll have to look that up. But if you watch the POV on YouTube from the one I know they did in Hollywood, it is like crazy good. Like very much not super different, but cool. And like when you go through the one tunnel, you're kind of like looking at that underwater shark dinosaur thing, and it like breaks the glass and then the water comes. It looks so cool.
I guess I didn't realize they had a Universal amusement park in California.
Yeah, the one in California is pretty cool because it actually goes like the backlot tours. It like will actually go to like live TV show sets and stuff. My boss was telling me about it.
Awesome. That is cool.
But my favorite ride, I gotta go back to Disney.
Yeah.
My favorite. See, we did talk about Disney.
Oh, well, I was thinking.
Oh, we didn't go favorite yet.
I was thinking, what's the one, the Frozen ride?
Yeah,
called
Frozen.
Epcot. Is it Frozen Adventure or whatever?
Frozen Ever
Olaf's
After?
I don't know.
No.
That's something on Disney Plus.
I don't know. Whatever. The one that replaced Maelstrom, which I was legitimately upset about because that was my favorite ride at Epcot. But the Frozen retheme is legit. Like my favorite. Like literally singing at the top of my lungs, probably only adult.
It's a great ride.
On the boat.
Is that your favorite then?
I think so. Like the feeling I got, I mean, Rise of the Resistance is like, I mean, if you took that out of the equation, I mean, just the feeling I got on that Frozen ride, I can't explain it. But Rise is definitely number one. But like the Frozen, like the girl in me just was like, I love this.
Yeah. Yeah, I also really, in addition to that, really enjoyed the Toy Story Land that they've built in Hollywood Studios as well, and like the Slinky Dog coaster and
Slinky Dog's good.
And the theming of the one ride, like, is it Buzz's? Is it that Buzz thing? Or
which one are you talking about?
Where you're kind of like inside Andy's like room and stuff like that, and you're like, it's kind of like a game. Toy Story Mania. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That ride's like super popular.
But yeah, my favorite has to be Rise of the Resistance. It's probably my favorite ride I've ever been on, and
I don't even consider it a ride at this point. It's like an experience.
It's an experience.
It's definitely not an experiment because it was right.
Yeah, it wasn't an experiment. It was an experience. But yeah, it's just like, and it's got to be at least 15 minutes long.
Easy
from beginning to end, and you're just in these different locations, you know, and different ride systems, and you're being like questioned by the First Order, and you know, it's just really awesome. It's just a fantastic ride.
And this is the thing that I keep saying about this. They took what Universal did with Harry Potter World, and they like took it to like the way next level, because I feel like Gringotts is very much similar. in concept, but Disney blew them out of the water.
Yeah.
Like, I was so impressed.
So those are our favorites, but we also want to hear from you. We want to know what rides you love that are based off of movies. So, let us know in the comment section. And we'll also be putting out a poll this week, probably on Twitter, about your favorite ride based off of a movie. But now it is that time to move on to our news, and we do have a lot of it, like I said, this week. And we do have a little bit of Disney news because Disney announced that they are going to have a Disney Plus Day, and that's going to be on Friday, November 12th. And that's like November 12th is when Disney Plus first launched a couple years back. And so I think, having this day on the anniversary of that day makes sense. It's going to be a celebration of all the content they already have on the service, but also they're releasing new movies, TV series, and other presentations. They're going to have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings that's going to land on Disney Plus that day, and also Jungle Cruise, which is pretty, that's a big day to release both of those films on Disney Plus at the same time. There's going to be an original movie called Home Sweet Home Alone, which is a movie I didn't ask for and don't need to watch, but maybe we'll watch it with Sydney or something. Olaf, let's see, an all new original series of shorts called Olaf Presents.
So this was like a huge ask by fans, because so in Frozen 2, he kind of like he told the story of Anna and Elsa and how they became where they are at this point, and it was like the most epic thing. And I would just remember like Facebook and Instagram stories like going off how they wanted Olaf to do all of the Disney movies.
So here you
and
go.
And now he is. I'm so excited.
They listened because Olaf is going to be retelling classic Disney tales as only he can, as it says here.
I can't wait to rewatch that 65 times.
That'll be good. Also, something I'm very excited about is there's going to be a special celebrating the origins and legacy of Boba Fett. As we lead into the Boba Fett series, the book of Boba Fett that's going to be coming out in December, I believe. Also, a look towards the future of the MCU on Disney Plus. And wow, it's going to be a big day. So definitely excited for November 12th coming up right around the corner.
Is this like the 1-year anniversary of Disney Plus or 2?
I believe it's 2. I think it debuted on November 12th, 2019.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Next up is something I think you're very excited about.
Here for this.
As I know you're a huge Harry Potter fan. Fantastic Beasts, not quite as good as Harry Potter in my opinion, but we do have a Fantastic Beasts 3 title and release date. The official title is going to be The Secrets of Dumbledore, originally scheduled for July 15th, 2022, but it's been moved up actually. That doesn't happen much these days. To Friday, April 15th, 2022.
That's like 3 months.
Yeah. So.
And they delayed filming because they were down in Brazil to film, and when COVID hit, they had to delay filming. So this is exciting.
That's true.
Must be working overtime.
And we're gonna get Jude Law back as Dumbledore, Ezra Miller as Credence, and of course Eddie Redmayne.
I love
as Newt Scamander.
He's a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, you're wearing the right shirt today.
Yes.
And we're also, of course, going to see a new Grindelwald played by Mads Mikkelsen. And we just watched Casino Royale, and he's just an excellent villain in that movie. So I think he'll be great here.
Was he in Rogue One?
Yeah, he was in Rogue One too. He was Jin's dad.
Yeah.
So any theories, Brittany, on what the secrets of Dumbledore might be?
I have so many theories. So this is what I'm thinking. Number one, I think we might potentially find out what happens with Dumbledore's little sister, Ariana.
Yeah,
because she like died or something. Because Dumbledore and Grindelwald were like dueling. But maybe it's like a flashback scene because I think it happened when they were kids before this. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this is like flashbacky to when Grindelwald and Dumbledore, they were like buds growing up.
Yeah.
So
it could be a lot of flashbacks.
So I'm thinking we might get a lot of that. And
I want to see a showdown between Grindelwald and Dumbledore.
Well, there has to be one because Dumbledore wins the Elder Wand off of Grindelwald. So I don't know if that'll happen now or in 2 movies from now, but I'm down for all of it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I love it.
Faux show. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Crimes of Grindelwald. So I'm hoping this one kind of redeems it a bit. And next up, we have the Nintendo Switch, or the Nintendo rather, event that took place this past Thursday, I believe it was last Thursday, September 23rd, Nintendo Direct. And they released some news that we're going to look at here. First of all, we have some news about the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I didn't really even know about, but it's going to be an animated movie, and it's set to come out December 21st, 2022. And this is actually going to star Chris Pratt as the voice of Mario, which I thought was an interesting choice. I don't really see or hear Chris Pratt being Mario, but I'm sure there's a reason they cast him. We have Charlie Day as Luigi.
They should have cast your friend Brian.
Brian Sabelli as Luigi. No. Do you know who Charlie Day is?
Nope.
That name's familiar, but I'm not sure. Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach.
I don't know who that is either.
Is she the one who's in the that Netflix show, The Queen's? Is it called The Queen's Gambit or something?
Oh, is it?
I don't know if that's her.
I want to watch that.
I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on that. Jack Black's going to be Bowser. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. So a lot of big names for the voices. So should be interesting.
That Charlie Day dude is that dude.
Oh, Charlie Day. He was in what was that
Always
show?
Sunny in Philadelphia.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia on FX. Yeah, that's Charlie Day. Okay. So yeah, we'll see. What about Anya Taylor-Joy? Can you look her up for me?
So I don't know if this actually happened or if this was just a dream I had once, but I feel like they did a live action Mario and Luigi years ago.
Oh yeah, they did. I think it was terrible, probably, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, she was on the Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit. Okay, I thought so.
Good job.
Thank you. Also at Nintendo Direct, they announced an expansion pack for Nintendo Switch Online, and I've been waiting for this because when we've been on our Switch and everything, I noticed that there was just like the Nintendo and Super Nintendo games. I was like, "Where's the N64 games?" Well, we're going to be getting those soon. I think even next month, late October. No price was given on the expansion pack, but those who are already subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online can upgrade their subscription if they want to. And some of those games will include Super Mario 64, one of my all-time favorites, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Yoshi's Story, Mario Tennis, Dr. Mario 64, Legends of Zelda. So a lot of N64 games coming. What do you think about this? Are you at all excited about this? Or
I didn't have an N64.
Yeah, I didn't think you were a big N64
my cousin
person.
Did. He lived right across the alleyway from me. And I would go over there and we played Mortal Kombat a lot. And I feel like we may have played one of the Mario games, but it was more Mortal Kombat and Sonic. But
yeah,
I appreciated the Super Nintendo ones because I was like a huge Donkey Kong growing up. Like I enjoyed playing those with my mom. So yeah, it's no big deal for me.
Yeah. That, for me, it kind of is just because Nintendo 64 was, I always had very fond memories, and like it was one of the biggest Christmas presents I ever got. Like when I was a kid, like
so well.
my mom and my grandma acted like they were completely out of stock, which was partially true because they pretty much were out of stock. Said, you're gonna have to wait till your birthday in January to get it. Christmas Day, I'm opening all my presents, and it's kind of like the Red Ryder BB gun situation where they're like, oh, there's one more present back there hidden. What is that? And I open it, and it's a Nintendo 64. And the story goes they were at like Kmart.
Yeah, they were at
Kmart. There were none on the shelves. And they asked someone working there, hey, do you have any more of these? And the dude like pulled the last one he had out of the back or something.
Yeah.
And that's the one I ended up with. So it was a super exciting Christmas.
Your mom's still tickled about it.
Yeah, it's a great story.
It is.
And I'm excited to play those games again, because I do feel like that was the one thing missing from the Switch Online. Kind of the games they had on there.
It's surprising to me that they didn't automatically like include those with the at the beginning. I don't know. Maybe there was like some type of conversion issue that they had to overcome, I would assume. Yeah. Maybe.
Could be. But that wraps it up for Nintendo Direct for us, at least the stuff we were most interested in. And now we're going to move on to something new for Netflix, which is the first ever global fan event, which is called Tudum or Tudum. I don't know what it stands for. I don't know what it means. Somebody else probably knows. I don't.
Tell us, because I'm confused.
Let us know. But it's a global fan event, and they dropped a whole bunch of stuff. And this happened on Saturday. This past Saturday, we learned about Bridgerton season 2, which I know Brittany's excited about. We got a little more information about. We got a kind of a clip from Stranger Things 4. What I was really excited about was a first look at Ozark season 4. So let's dive into some of this stuff that was revealed. First of all, Stranger Things season 4. So the clip they revealed reveals, I guess, what's being called the Creel House. I don't know anything about this either. But this clip, I really liked it. It really had like, we were talking before we started recording, it really has these vibes of like American Horror Story vibes, like season 1.
Mm-hmm.
It has it vibes, with these kind of characters all being together in this house. And
creepy house.
It's creepy, it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so I'm really intrigued by this. And you were thinking, Britt, that maybe this is some hot spot, or like where the veil is thin between our world and the Upside Down. And our heroes, our characters are investigating this place.
Didn't they say like in the last season that there were several access points to this, and just like where 11 was originally held in season 1 was one of them. Mm-hmm. But then last season we saw that there was another one.
Yeah, they were trying to like crack through that with that big beam thing they created.
Yeah. And was there one in that shed where that creepy dude was?
In first season?
No, was that the second season when the new girl shows up, or was that last season? I'm confused.
I'm confused too. But
where the lifeguard was that all the moms were like excited about, and he got like possessed.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily like an access point or anything, but the warehouse place. Yeah, that might have.
It looked like he had to go into a shed to get down into the warehouse.
Yeah. But you know what we didn't get? We still didn't get a stinking release date for this thing. They keep telling us it's coming in 2022, but they won't give us a release date. So,
when do they typically release it? 4th of July.
It's been different. I mean, sometimes it's been in the fall, sometimes it's been in the summer, so I don't really know when to expect this. I'm hoping by summer, or sooner. But we've been waiting a while.
I wonder, okay, this is me speculating, but no, that wouldn't make sense. I was like, I wonder if they're like trying to like gauge when people will be home more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wonder if they're waiting to see if like next year, like the world will open up even more for like travel.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And Disney's 50th anniversary is next year too. So, this year into next year. So maybe they're waiting until that dies down, and maybe they'll do an October release.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just know it needs to come out soon. And some of these characters look even older than they did before. I mean, some of them still look the same, but I noticed that, and I'm trying Lucas, he's grown up quite a lot, and he's rocking like the old like Will Smith Fresh Prince cut, which was cool. So yeah, I mean, obviously these actors aren't getting any younger, so they're gonna keep aging.
I mean, Steve still looks the same.
Yeah, I mean, Steve looks the same. Dustin looks pretty similar to season 3. Mainly, I would say it's Lucas's character. Yeah. So, yeah, but looks awesome. And next up, we're going to talk about The Crown season 5. And my first comment to Brittany when we saw this kind of, I guess it was
introduction.
It was an announcement of the release window. I was like, what is wrong with her hair? Because I was like, I didn't, think Queen Elizabeth's hair should look like that. No. And then you explained to me that this is Imelda.
Imelda is playing Imelda.
Imelda, the actress, is playing herself and not the queen. So I was a little concerned about the hair. But season 5, she's actually going to play the role for the 5th and 6th seasons.
Correct.
And it's going to return in November of 2022. So,
which I'm not happy about. That's so far away. That's over a year away. But I'll tell you, I'm not thrilled about Imelda Staunton because she plays the worst villain, worse than Voldemort in Harry Potter. I'm having trouble.
Yeah, I would say that she's pretty much the worst.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name?
Umbridge.
Yeah, Dolores Umbridge. So that's all I can see when I see her.
I can't handle it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a shot, but I'm not making promises.
So we're getting at least 2 more seasons, Brittany. What kind of things do you think these seasons might cover? I mean, what else do we have to learn about the royals and Queen Elizabeth?
Well, unfortunately, these are the 2 most recent seasons, and they will cover the 2 worst seasons of their lives, probably. The fallout between Diana and Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably Diana's death will be in season 6, I'm assuming. And how the Queen really, she battened down the hatches and protected William and Harry. And I think that that's going to be like probably the main storyline in season 6. But season 5 is probably just going to be like a lead up to that.
And you think that'll include like her death and everything, Princess Diana?
I feel like if it's gonna happen, it would happen at the end of season 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then season 6 will focus on like the aftermath of that. But if not, it's gonna happen in season 6. Yeah. But I definitely think they're gonna cover that, and that'll be the end.
And while we do have to wait a long time, it'll probably be worth it because this series has been so good, so well done. The production value is so high. Mm-hmm. I know they won a lot of awards at the Emmys. I don't know how many, but
was it Claire Foy?
Claire Foy.
Was it the first?
It was the first one. Yeah.
She won an Emmy for a flashback.
For a flashback scene.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Like, come on now.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the most well done shows I've ever watched.
Oh, here we go. The 4th season took home multiple major awards, including Best Drama, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Supporting Actress. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, season 5 coming. Next up for Netflix, we got a date announcement for Cobra Kai season 4, and we got a closer look at we have, let's see here, Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso teaming up in order to take down John Kreese and Cobra Kai at the All Valley Karate Tournament. So it'll be interesting to see this alliance and how these 2 characters play off of each other, because they were really in conflict the whole rest of the series so far. And so I'm interested to see how they're going to work things out when it comes to training all these kids together and going up against Cobra Kai at the All Valley Tournament.
Yeah, they have very different styles of training and stuff.
Yeah, so
I think they need both, though, to beat John Kreese.
Yeah, and they need a little striking first, but a little bit of wax on, wax off too.
Yeah.
So yeah. So season 4 is going to premiere on December 31st of this year, 2021. And I love this show. I think I've talked about it many times on our podcast, how much I love this show, and I'm looking forward to that. So
it's decent. I find entertainment in it.
Yes. Next up, again, something I know you're excited about, me not so much. But
you didn't even watch the first season.
I didn't.
You need to,
For me, the crown is enough that I need in this world of royal families and stuff like that. But Netflix unveiled its Bridgerton season 2 first look. And
which I literally didn't even know this happened and watched right before we recorded this.
We watched it right before, and it's going to premiere next year, and it will be based on the second novel by Julia Quinn.
Which I didn't know these were books, so that's on my reading list.
Right. So what did you think about this first look?
Well, I thought it was good. Okay, the thing that I love about Bridgerton is like when this takes place, basically women are like they're just like trading pieces, basically. Like you marry somebody to get their family's money or land or whatever. And we see it like over and over and over again in real life, and then like in Downton Abbey and whatever else. Same thing with this. But the thing that's beautiful about Bridgerton is that these women are not quiet. They are very take charge, independent, and strong. And that sounds
like somebody I know.
I don't know. But it's very...
So surprised you would like that.
No, and it's very... But it still has that like fantasy, like old English thing that us girls like, but it has that twist where like these women are very strong, and I like it. I like it a lot. I was immediately sucked into the show. Like I couldn't... I don't know if it was the British accents or what, but
I think a lot of women are in that same boat that you're in.
Well, everybody was watching it. I was probably late to the party, and I literally watched it in 2 days between working 2 jobs. Yeah. It was great.
I don't know if we got an official date here or just next year.
No, I don't think there was a date.
Yeah, just next.
This actually also got delayed filming from COVID as well. So
yeah,
I'm not surprised they had started and then they had to stop again, and it was nuts.
There's a lot of that going around. Well, last and certainly for me not least was the first look at Ozark season 4, and I watched the first 3 seasons like pretty quickly. I binged those. I don't remember when it was exactly, but it was in the past couple of years, and I am so excited. I've been waiting a while now to see season 4, and we finally got a look at it. We got a clip, and it really seems to pick up right after the ending of season 3. And I don't want to spoil anything if anybody hasn't seen it, but
there's brains on these people.
But they're a mess, and
it's not hard to guess. And
there's happened. So definitely. But yeah, I'm super excited about this, and it's going to actually be the final season will be released in 2 parts in 2022. So I don't know how many episodes will be in each part, but it kind of reminds me of what Breaking Bad did. And I know this series has a lot of comparisons to Breaking Bad, even though it's a very different show. And I feel like this show is very much about the family drama and dealing with the money laundering and everything, the repercussions of that and the consequences that come along with that. But yeah, Breaking Bad did like kind of season 5 parts 1 and 2, or season 5 and season 6. So they're looking to do the same thing with Ozark. I will be sad to see it end because it's a fantastic show. If you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend it.
The only way that it makes sense that they did season 4 part 1 and season 4 part 2 is that if it's like an entire season of like 12 episodes and they are doing
like 6 and 6 or something like
otherwise,
that.
Otherwise, why wouldn't they just do an extra season?
Right.
Doesn't make sense. That's what I think they're going to do.
But. Right. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for our news this week. There was a lot of it, a lot to be excited about that's coming up from Disney with Disney Plus Day to Fantastic Beasts 3, Nintendo Direct, and Netflix as well. So that wraps it up for today. And Adam usually does such a good job with the outro that I will, pale in comparison to him because, he talks about all the different things. You can subscribe to our show on your favorite podcatcher. We have a watch party going on in our Discord server, which you can join for free. And currently we're watching Stranger Things, so that's timely as well. Make sure to check out our website from a certain point of view.com. On the social apps, you can follow us on Instagram at Certain POV Pod, on Twitter at Certain POV Pod. Facebook is From a Certain Point of View. And our email is certainpovpod@gmail.com. You can also send us a 60-second voicemail on Anchor.fm, or you can call our number 724-901-1783. We'd love to hear your thoughts about all of these releases and any show topics or ideas you have. Again, that's 724-901-1783. Please also subscribe and follow the Red 5 Network. A lot of great shows out there to listen to. And you can find me on Twitter at JediJarJar1722. And Brittany, do you want to talk about your social media presence with the Bosch blog?
Sure. I have the Bosch blog. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok now at the Bosch blog, and the website is theboschblog.com.
Well, thank you so much, Brittany, for joining me and doing this with me, filling in for Adam this week. And yeah, so we're getting closer and closer to episode 100, which I know will be a special episode. So stay tuned to From a Certain Point of View till then. And remember that everything we said today was true.
From a certain point of view.